right. Well, thanks to everybody joining. And if you're watching live or the replay, we're happy that you are here to hear from us and check this out because we're pretty excited about what's going on and it's super important. So glad you're here and tuning in. I'm Jessica Bartholomew and I'm the Executive Director of ACT United, which is Anti-Child Trafficking United in Minnesota. And we work all over the place, but our home base is in Chaska, Carver County, Minnesota, which is kind of southwest in the state. And then I'm going to introduce the other three. This is your team. This is the Mobilize Minnesota team. Your executive team, the planners, the visionaries, the praying, the warriors that really want to help you get involved and engaged in this movement to protect kids in our state. So next, I'm going to say there's Stephanie. Stephanie wants to wave. That is Stephanie Page. She's the executive director of Stories Foundation, which also works all over the place, but has a home base in Ramsey, Minnesota, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, like a north central. Okay, all right. And then we have Ashley Moore. Hi, Ashley, from CAST, Minnesota, which is Citizens Against Sex Trafficking, and they are in Washington County, which I'm going to kind of go with East Minnesota, so our east side. And then we have Abby Thalacker, who is the executive director of Corey's House, who is looking for land and going to open up a restorative home for youth that are coming out of the life of sex trafficking. So that's your team. And we just wanted to say, each wanted to say one thing that we feel is just so important to help you understand this movement to mobilize Minnesota, to end the sexual exploitation and trafficking of children and teens, the recognition that we are not just better together like a slogan, but like literally when we are a united front and we learn more and then we each take our one step, we really are going to protect kids and move the needle toward the end of this exploitation and trafficking that is happening. So I just want to say that at this conference, you're going to learn about 3 different exploitation crimes that we see impacting children as young as grade school, teenagers, and our students on college campuses. And those 3 crimes are sextortion, which is an online crime, or at least starts online, sugaring, which is a crime that is happening that starts when youth are being connected on dates with adults for money. And we see that a lot in the high schools and on our college campuses. And then sex trafficking. So those are the 3 crimes that you'll get an opportunity to learn more about and then see what do we have as tools and resources in the state to actually do something about it. And I'm going to go to Ashley to just say something, because this is a common question. A lot of people thought when the pandemic hit and we all sheltered in place that we would see a decrease in crimes like this. But Ashley, what did we actually see? Like, what's the real deal with the impact of COVID and what's going on?
Yeah, so the reality is that COVID-19 has had an impact, has increased sexual exploitation, but it's all been moving to online sexual exploitation. And the reason we've been seeing that spike is for a couple of reasons. First, we're all home more. Both we are, our children are, and predators, we're all at home. And the second is that the majority of our personal interactions have been taking place online, whether through social media, whether it's through emails, Zoom calls, everything. We've been just engaging through the internet for the past 2 years. And finally, with the isolation that we've been having, with the reduced in-person interaction, we've been trying to compensate with our emotional connection through online outlets. We've been trying to engage with one another through the outlets that we can, which has been online. And so that has caused a lot of opportunities for predators to really use that as their hunting grounds. And the pandemic has really created this space where increased online use and also increased emotional vulnerability. I think the majority of us can say that we have dealt with an increase of fear, loneliness, anger and frustration and just boredom. And so we've been just using the internet as an outlet, and predators have been making comments of this is their time. And so you see it
Mhm.
even with the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. They've increased, they noted that it was 97.5% increase in online enticement reports from 2019 to 2020. And so you see that there has been more enticing, grooming, and engaging through those online outlets because that's where we've been engaging with. And so as we're transitioning to in-person interactions again, we can't just assume that this online grooming process, that this online exploitation is just going to decrease or disappear, because we changed the way we've operated as a community, and we've deeply integrated our online engagement moving forward. People are now sometimes working from home, sometimes working online, and sometimes working in the office. It's changed the way we've approached the future, and we as a community need to understand what our youth are facing in that technological age so that we know how to best protect them.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to Abby now, and I'm going to ask Abby something about our unity and working together. Like, we can't be silos anymore. This is not about, one person doing one thing over here and over there. So Abby, say a little bit about why it was so important and why we got so excited about working together on this.
Yeah, I love unity. That's like the perfect word. That's like one of my favorite things is seeing people come together for the same purpose. And that's why I'm so excited that Corey's House is a part of this conference, because we get to work with awesome organizations like you guys, and like I think we each have our own place in the fight against trafficking. Like each
Yeah.
organization is doing their thing. But when we are all working together, we can see that like we can make an impact, and like we get to put on this awesome conference together. And I think that translates to each individual. We each have our own space and our own way and ability that we can fight trafficking. But when we work together, when we're united and we have that unity, we can be so much more effective in fighting trafficking.
Yeah. Well, you guys know me, and I've got that kind of military, mindset and in my background or whatever. But every time we talk about working together in unity, that's how you advance a line. You can't have a whole. Everybody has to be shoulder to shoulder. You might have your lane. I might have my lane. You might be a sniper. You might be ground patrol. You might be foot soldier, whatever you are. But when we are shoulder to shoulder and we make that line, that's what advances and starts making a difference. So working together is totally what we need to do, and it's long overdue. And so this is really exciting. So I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie, though, to talk about something really, really important, because we're all trying to decide about our time, conferences, awareness. There's so many different issues that could draw our attention right now. And if you care about kids, this is where you want to be, is at this conference. But then Stephanie's going to talk about what's really awesome, I guess, is about this particular conference, because it's not just going to be informational. So, Steph.
Yeah, I think that first of all, I like to acknowledge that when we talk about exploitation around children and trafficking around children, I think at least for the people I talk to and for myself, it can be super overwhelming and feel really heavy, and we don't know what to do. And so I just want to encourage all of you that might be watching or considering coming that we want to give you information that's not overwhelming to you, but because we want to give you action that you can take after you leave. We want to give you action you can even take that day. And we want you to take it in community, because when we're together in community and we're all hearing the same things, we borrow courage from each other, and we can take action together. And just like the four of us are taking action together to say, you know what, collaboration matters. Talking about child trafficking and exploitation that's happening in our community matters. We want to encourage you all to take action together after you learn. And the content's going to be really, really good. We're solidifying our speakers right now. We're going to have a trauma expert, We're going to have some top-notch speakers speaking on things that I need education on. And I've been doing this work for 10 years. We're all learning. I feel like I'm learning every day, and I'm really excited to come and learn together so that we can all move forward together, and we can really do something about this issue in our communities when it comes to our teens and kids that are being targeted and exploited, like Ashley was talking about. And we're passionate and we're friends, and we want to invite you into this, and we want you to invite your friends into this, because we don't have to be burdened and overwhelmed to the point of being paralyzed when it comes to talking about trafficking and exploitation, especially with our kids. We can be empowered and equipped to move forward, and that's really what this event is going to give you. It's going to give you the needed information that you really need, but then it's also going to give you tangible next steps so that we can create change in our community. So come and share. We want to see you there.
Yeah. So let's end on this. Everybody just say your 5-second reason, invitation for why somebody should come to Mobilize Minnesota to end exploitation and trafficking. Abby, how about you start?
Oh, sure. I mean, in 5 seconds, I would just say it's real, it's happening. There are people that are being exploited and trafficked right now. And sorry, it's real, and we have to do something. Each individual person has to do something, and we want to help you learn what you can do and how you can be involved.
Yeah, Ashley? Yeah, 100%.
I think that a lot of times we feel like this is a really overwhelming and dark space, like what Stephanie said. And a lot of times people feel like, well, I'm either not a survivor, or I'm not an expert, or I have no experience in this. I'm just a stay-at-home parent, or I'm an accountant, or I don't know where I would fit into this. This conference is for you. Like, we want to invite you into this space exactly who you are, exactly as you are, so that you can learn how to incorporate ways and sexual exploitation in your daily life. So come join us, because it's going to be for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would just agree with that. At Stories Foundation, we say your story matters. And I've been saying over and over lately that change doesn't happen from the top down. Change happens from the bottom up. And if we as community members don't see the impact that our influence can make, nothing's going to change about human trafficking in our communities. It's just going to continue to get worse. So that's why this is so important, because you need to see the value that you personally have in the places where you have influence, so that together we can see change happen.
Yeah. And I would just say we don't have to wait. We don't have to wait for another news story. We don't have to wait for another article to come on our news feed that just tears at our heart. We don't have to wait to read that. We can get ahead of it in prevention. We can work together. We can learn, and we can translate that awareness into action so that it doesn't happen in the first place. So come join us. So I'll let you know that if you want to come join us, and we really, really hope you do, we want to mobilize Minnesota. We want the whole state to really take action for kids, because everybody is so important. Every parent, every grandparent, every foster family, anybody that works with youth, every teacher, every pastor, every youth pastor, every daycare provider, every concerned community member. If you own a coffee shop and you watch people come in and out, you have customers, you'll understand that trafficking isn't something that all children just disappear. They're coming to your store. They're shopping at the mall, and they're in your classroom, and they're in your youth group. So come learn and come join us. And to learn more and get the details and the speakers and the breakout sessions, and to start seeing who are going to be some of those organizations and ministries that you will be able to connect with at the conference in the vendor hall, go to actunited.org/Mobilize Minnesota. And you will get more details. You'll be able to register and get your tickets. And we have to say something super important. This is why we're doing it live today, is because today, the 31st, January 31st, is the last day to get your early bird tickets. So by midnight tomorrow, right? It's going to be tomorrow. So you have like 24 plus hours to get your ticket before it goes up to the regular price on February 1st. And we also have student tickets. So if you're a high school student or a college student, we have a discount student ticket price. So go to actunited.org/Mobilize Minnesota, get your tickets, save your seat, and get your foot in the movement to help us, to help you protect kids in our state. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you February 19th at the Southwest Marriott in Minnetonka for Mobilize Minnesota to end the exploitation and trafficking of children and teens.
Thanks,
See you there.
everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
See you soon.
See you very soon.